Dear girlies, welcome to the Notes to Her podcast. I'm your host Rianne, and we are back with another episode. I, for the life of me, cannot believe this. It's been a while. We have so much to catch up on. I don't even know literally where to begin. Firstly, let me address the elephant in the room. The fact that it is probably 26 degrees right now, and I've literally got a blanket on me. I can feel the glasses steaming up, and I'm literally sweating. It's a hot one, but I guess we move. And I can't go an episode without the blanket. So anyway, oh my goodness, I've been MIA. It's been another trip to Ghana, but I'm back. We've got, so much to catch up on. How are we all doing? How are we all feeling? How has the heat been for you guys? Girlies, let me know in the comments. Are you one of those people, you've got things on lock, you've got the fan, you've got ice cold water, you're prepared? Are you sweltering? Let me know, because I feel like as well, when I was over there, I was over in Ghana, I was expecting it to be heat wave, really hot, 30 odd degrees. No, it felt like I was in the UK, that it was giving that kind of weather when it's autumn, so it's so much more cooler, it's a bit more cold. I was cold the majority of the time, funny enough, but you lot over here literally had a whole heat wave for 2-3 weeks. So I was I've come all the way there for the sun, but mind you, the sun is literally in the UK right now. What? Anyway, it's been I don't even know, 3 weeks. I'm so sorry for no episode. So many things went well, but then there were things that popped up that was unplanned that I hadn't prepared for. So unfortunately there was no episode, but I will get into that. Anyway, but I'm back and you've got your Friday fix again, so that is all okay. So how am I feeling? I don't even know, very disorientated. I've only been back, I think it's coming up to 2 weeks now, but I actually go away again. So by the time this episode comes out, I go to Amsterdam the next day for a few days. So coming back, my trip to Ghana also was an extra week longer than planned. I'll get into that as well. So coming back, I was right, okay, routine, or let me just leave it for a little bit, and then once I'm back all together from my other trip, then it makes sense. So I'm feeling a bit disorientated in a way, but it's also kind of nice to be back and adjusting back to the swing of things too, when you come back from holiday, and obviously sad as well because I just love Ghana so much, and I really enjoy my time there. And how else I'm feeling? But I'm feeling good. I'm feeling calm. I'm feeling funny enough, a little so much more relaxed, which is contradictory to the disorientating feeling. But it's always nice when you've been on holiday and you come back feeling you've got the nice glow going on. Things are okay. And people have said to me you've got a glow about you. It's yeah, girl, because I've been on holiday for 4 weeks, But yeah, I'm doing good. I'm doing okay. And I love that for me. It's been nice with the sun as well. Although I am a girly that gets quite hot quite quick, but we don't talk about that. That's actually okay. Let's dive in. What have I been up to? Okay, so obviously the episodes that I'd had, and I was still putting in work, not as much, but doing the work for the podcast while I was out in Ghana as well. So those episodes that was coming out, I was there editing, I was doing the clips, and I'd obviously anticipated, okay, there'll be a week without the pod and then I'll get back onto it. Anyway, so I go out to Ghana. Ghana was great, cooler weather than I'm used to, rainy season over there during that time, which I didn't know about. So it was so interesting to see Ghana in such a different way. There was severe flooding out there as well. And so I hope, the citizens as well that experienced really, really bad flooding, in their places, in their homes, in certain towns and in certain cities as well over there, are able to recover. It was really heartbreaking to see, and kind of really did open my eyes so much more experiencing something like that, continuous heavy rain I think I woke up to it and it had been raining like all night, all day, like non-stop heavy downpour. And then we was kind of just like stuck in a place for like 2 days in our homes. Like they said, like don't travel if you don't need to, basically just like stay home. And seeing it on social media and seeing it in some areas live as well, it was kind of like, oh my gosh, like the flooding wasn't just like puddles, it was literally like it's probably up to your knees, even higher. And seeing it on social media as well, you know, flooding entering people's homes, the flood waters and everything, and then that mixed with kind of like sewage and drainage water, like it was really sad to see the damage as well. In certain areas that we were kind of like close to where we were staying. Luckily, where I was in the area that we were in, we were fine. And apparently it'd been one of the worst in like 10 years. So yeah, eye-opening experience. Me and my naive self was like, oh, well, it's just sunny all year round. Like, no. It rains and it rains heavy. So yeah, so what else? I mean, it was great. Done so many different things, put my roller skating skills to use as well, but then it also made me realize like actually I definitely need to kind of go back to learning that and like just enhancing my skills a lot more as well. Got my hair done. The time goes out in a blur. Spent time with like loved ones out there, which was really nice. It was nice to just be able to like switch off, although like I was also working, you know, like on the podcast and stuff. It was just so nice to have to just slow down. And like, you know, the previous episode I'd said like about slowing it down, sometimes it's nice just to be able to do that and do things at a bit more of a relaxed pace. I feel like over in Ghana, I don't know, things are a bit slower over there, which is so nice when you're coming from somewhere that is a little bit more fast paced, if that makes sense. And it wasn't more so kind of like party vibes out there. There was events and stuff. The football was on, so I watched the World Cup. I was about to say I'm a World Cup girly, but I don't know how true that is. But I watched the World Cup and I was like, oh, I can see why people are actually interested in this now. You know, watched the Ghana versus England match, and the England versus Argentina, and Argentina versus Spain as well. So shout out to Spain, shout out to England as well. Anyway, so I had the Ghana jersey on when I watched that Ghana versus England match. Was in a pub, like it was so fun, like the vibes were really high for that as well. Beach walks, yeah, like bowling, roller skating, just so many different things. And sometimes I just have to go through my camera roll just to remember exactly what I've done. So my memory is not the best sometimes. It was a blessing in disguise, basically having that extended trip out there. So yeah, like what? How has it come and gone so quick? So that was my trip. The unexpected long stay. A girlie missed her flight. Yeah, the silence is loud. So I'm usually someone that goes, when I go on holiday, very like I'm on time for these things, know my flight time, everything like that. Unfortunately, on that day, I had left later than planned. Then there was traffic, and those who know Ghana traffic, sometimes the airport could be a 20-minute, half an hour drive, and it was a 20-minute, half an hour drive. When you add on the traffic, then makes it an hour. Unfortunately, I had missed my check-in time, and they were adamant that I was not able to check in. When I had checked in online the night before, I couldn't have my boarding pass. It's something that I had to have there. When I was informed that I wasn't able to check in, mind you, it was only like 10 minutes late. They were adamant, like, no. And despite trying to negotiate with them and beg and plead, and a girlie cried because it was just like, why? And talk to different people from the airline that was in the airport. Nope, nope, nope. I'd have to leave my luggage, but I could just go and print my boarding pass at the machine and then board the plane with just like my little cabin bag and my handbag. And I was like, right, okay. Boarding pass wasn't printing. And I was like, right, so obviously not getting on that flight then. And it's so funny because I'd said to myself, of that morning. You know, sometimes you get like a feeling, that's of something and you don't know what it is. And on that morning, I hadn't been how I usually am. Usually when I leave Ghana, I'm a bit like upset, obviously. I'm just like, I love this place so much. Like, I don't want to leave, blah, blah, blah. But that morning I was like, I don't feel like I'm leaving. I don't feel like I'm going. It doesn't feel like I'm flying out today. I'd said that the morning of my flight. But I still carried on. Obviously, my bags were packed. But even the night before, I was like, oh, this feels surreal. Like the fact that the time has come around so quick that my trip is finished. And other conversations that I'd had throughout that day, then it was just like, oh, that's funny. Didn't think anything of it. So then to not actually get on the flight home because I wasn't able to check in my luggage and there was no boarding pass that was basically being printed for me. Staff weren't even offering to print it anyway, either. And it was just like, oh my gosh, I must have known subconsciously that I'm not getting on that flight. There was no way that I was going home. And I've never experienced something like that before. I'd never kind of felt that way either. But sometimes when you get that feeling and you just ignore that feeling, that's essentially what had happened. And I was just like, no, I'm getting on that flight. And I think as well, the turn of events that had happened, I had accepted it so quickly. I was like, yeah, no, there's no way I'm getting on that flight. So, yeah, ended up staying longer for a week. And I think it's something that I didn't understand at the time. And I feel like there's a part of me that still doesn't understand as to why certain things happened the way that they did. But I accepted it so quick, like, okay, fine. I'm not going home. This is an opportunity now for me to seize. And I think I needed that more than I actually realized because I came back so much like lighter. So that was Ghana, girlies. It was nice to be able to switch off. It was nice to be able to learn lessons, like get on your flight early, basically get to the airport early. Don't, because it's very expensive then to rebook. It was nice to be able to spend time with people as well, learn new things in that way. It was eye-opening experience, seeing the impact of how a country deals with natural disasters. I don't know if that's the right term to use, or environmental events that occur basically as well. Because I think sometimes when you're in your own bubble, in your own environment that you're so used to, sometimes you can see certain things on social media and be like, oh, that's sad, and then continue scrolling or do it, donating or, but it's so hard to fully comprehend because you're not in it. So then being in it and seeing it in real life, I feel like it's just a completely different experience for sure. So we've recapped. And then I'm going to Amsterdam. So in the next, episode or two, I'll be able to divulge a bit more as to how my trip to Amsterdam went as well. So I'll see you girlies in the next episode. Loves ya.